everyone, my name is Tina and welcome to the G Sport Hub. As you can see, I'm currently in London waiting for the World's Finals happening tomorrow. But just right before that, today a lot of news have been dropped, not just about the Pacific League, but every single league in general. But I'm here to talk about the Pacific League with the new name, LCP, League of Legends Championship Pacific. So before I start with anything, the teams are not officially out yet. However, there was a little leak because in one of the posts they forgot to take out one of the pictures. So we kind of also know which teams are going to be in there. According to the leak, which is once again not official, but it was shared by an official account and it should be official tomorrow. So kind of official, there are going to be 4 partner teams, which means they won't be able to get out the Return League. They're going to be permanently here. They are CFO and PSG from the PCS, SAG from the LJL, and GEM from the VCS. In addition to those, there are going to be 4 other guest teams. Later about that, what that means. The Chiefs from Oceania, DFM from Japan, Wales from Vietnam, and Vikings from also Vietnam. The first thing that a lot of fans have noticed, including Vietnamese and Taiwanese fans, there are going to be 3 Vietnamese teams here, which is a little bit weird, I would say. A little bit more Vietnamese teams than Taiwanese ones, even though there's going to be 2 partner Taiwanese teams, so obviously there's going to be a chance later on to add more. There are going to be 2 Japanese teams, SAG and DFM, and we've already seen some roster movements. There's definitely going to be some changes. I think Dasher also is having to do his military service next year. There are going to be changes. They're not going to be the same teams as this year. However, those 2 teams are supposed to be in here and SAG for the long term. Now with that out of the way, let's get into the official news. These seasons, these splits, are they called splits? There are going to be like 3 splits now in every single region. With the first one, in every single region, it's going to have a fearless draft. In case you don't know what is the fearless draft, there is an article on the Loyal Sport website about that. Once you pick a champion, you're not going to be able to play it once again throughout this match. There are basically 2 types of fearless drafts, like a light version when only the champs you play are going to be unavailable to you. There is like a full fearless, which means even if the enemy plays someone, it's going to be banned even for you. And as far as I know, according to Ben, who is the LCP now, I need to get used to it, who's the product manager of LCP, it's going to be full fearless from start to finish, and it's going to be the same as LCK. I don't know about the Americas or LEC, so do not ask me about that, but LCK and now LCP also confirmed to have a full fearless draft, which means if one team picking a champion, you cannot play it, even on the other team, never again. Let's talk about the winter season, split 1. It's going to be called Season Kickoff in the LCP, which consists of a regular season with fearless draft, single round robin, but best of 3. I mean, you literally cannot do a fearless in best of 1s, but that's good. We're going to have best of 3s out of the start with the top 6 teams qualifying out of that. So that means the 2 worst teams are going to be out for the season. It's very similar to Alice's format, except it's fearless and a little bit less teams. And even though it's not mentioned here, as far as I know, it's going to be the same as in the Americas, which means it's BO3s across the playoffs, this qualifying series as it's called. And it's only the finals and the lower finals that are going to be best of 5s. Whoever wins this season kickoff is going to be the team who goes to the new international tournament, which is also confirmed as of today. It's going to be called First Stand Tournament. This event will take place at the conclusion of Split 1 from March 10 to 16, 2025 at Lowell Park in Seoul, Korea. Also, something interesting, in the official Loyal Sport article, which is like a kind of like a summary for all the regions, it talks about fearless draft and talks about fearless draft like once a champion is selected, it becomes unavailable for both teams for the remainder of the series. Kind of seems like that every single region is going to implement full fearless, but the real season starts right after that with the mid-season, that's how it's called in LCP, the spring season, split 2. It's going to be the good old non-fearless League of Legends. And there's going to be a big change for the LCP, which is, in general, I think it's kind of bad. So we're going to have 2 seats now for MSI, like every other region, which is nice. However, now Vietnam is also here, who would also deserve 2 seats. So only though there's going to be even less teams at MSI, but I guess 2 seats, there's going to be a little bit more excitement for the lower finals. And talking about that, for the mid-season, it's gonna be double round robin, but BO1s. We're gonna have BO1s once again for the whole regular season, but at least double round. And as for the qualifying series, it's gonna be very similar with 6 teams making it. So once again, the 2 worst teams are out, their season or split is over. The first 2 seeds are gonna be starting from the upper bracket, so they have 1 chance to lose. And the first 2 rounds is going to be BO3s. The remaining rounds, including a really low bracket match and upper bracket finals, is going to be BO5. And that's how they're going to be deciding the 2 MSI representatives. It's going to be from, we don't have dates. A little bit later, everything is going to be a little bit later since there's a whole new split and whole new tournament at the start. And it's going to be pretty fun as we are entering season finals. It's this high school, the season finals. And there aren't as many news about season finals as this for the LCP. I know PCS back in the days have been cooking with the double upper groups. I think it was called like breakout group or something. And eventually, actually, LCK is gonna use that next year. So we may see some return of that breakout group thingy. The thing is, we don't have too much news about that. More detailed information on the format of season finals will be announced near at the start of the split. I don't even think we have any information whether it's gonna be BO3s, though I kinda hope, because that's like gonna be the tournament to qualify to Worlds, so I just hope it's gonna be BO3s. And now the important part, because as far as I know, LCP is gonna be the only region with 4 guest slots for now. 4 slots is gonna be rotating between seasons, and that's pretty nice. There's gonna be a promotion relegation tournament, and the way it's gonna work, there are gonna be now 5 different tier 2 regions, the regions that used to be tier 1s, with the BCS, LGL, PCS, Oceania, and Wildcard. We'll talk about it later. Now these regions are gonna be tier 2s directly feeding into the LCP promotion relegation tournament and gonna be swapping with the guest slots later. They do mention that they plan to have something new for Oceania as the LCO is announced to be over. But there's also going to be a wildcard spot, which is really interesting because finally we're going to have a dedicated spot for all the other Pacific but not Taiwanese or any other regions. There's going to be Malaysian teams, Indonesian teams, kind of what West Point was trying to do in the PCS, but this is going to be just a specific wildcard spot in the promotion relegation tournament. Even if they're not going to be the best, it's just really good to see that at least there's going to be some representation of them. This was the official news. And after that, there has been many questions about various topics. Ben, as I said before, has put out a tweet saying that any feedback is welcome. There are some questions brought up, which I think is kind of interesting to talk about. For example, what about the import rule? Because this is another one of these like merger regions similar to the Americas. And Americas has already announced that they're going to have the same system as ERLs. If you follow ERLs, this is going to be basically the same. Every team has to have minimum of 2 local players, meaning from that like specific region, and they can only have 2 non-Americas or non-Pacific player at max 2. Basically, what it means, you have a 1 free import slot for any of your players in your own big merged region. Just like in the question, is it possible to have, for example, a Vietnamese team have 2 Vietnamese players, 2 Korean players, and 1 Taiwanese player? Now to that question, the answer was, great question, that is already in our official rule set. I'll be here when I can speak more to it officially, which is a kind of a nothing burger. However, if you just take what happened in the Americas, I would assume the situation is going to be very similar here, just to keep the diversity of the teams. If you just don't have import rules, then you might end up with every single team being Taiwanese, just like what happened with the PCS. So I do think they're going to have something of a similar rule set like in the Americas. We actually just have to wait for the official rule set, because anything can happen. I don't know. I think I talked about every single possible thing that is like public. If you have any questions, don't forget to leave a comment or write anywhere. I'm happy to answer any question I can. And just have fun with Worlds. There's only 1 day left, but it's going to be an awesome day, and there might be some videos coming out about that as well in the upcoming days. Yep, see you in the next one. Bye-bye!